Hi, you are listening to the Carmen Debono podcast, where we unpack topics to encourage, equip, and empower you. I am your host, Carmen, a registered counsellor. I am passionate about coming alongside people. If this is your first time pressing play, or you are a returning listener, welcome, and I'm excited to spend this time with you. In this episode, we will unpack frustration and its symptoms. But first, how are you? I hope all is well on your end. I have been making the most of these gorgeous days. So when I'm not working, I am trying to get outdoors. And amongst all the other bits and pieces that we do, I have found myself getting stuck on meal ideas. And I felt I needed some inspiration regarding my cooking. So I got a few recipe books out and made myself a cuppa and sat outside. And it was so good that I didn't want to leave. So I made myself another cuppa and stayed there a little longer, and I'm feeling inspired. So watch this space and see what recipes emerge from my kitchen. So now to unpack frustration. Frustration is a normal reaction to situations in which needs are not being met and corrective actions cannot be taken. So how often do you feel frustrated? Paul Ekman, a psychologist in the 1970s, identified 6 basic emotions that he suggested were universally experienced in all human cultures. The emotions he identified were happiness, sadness, disgust, fear, surprise, and anger. If you have come across the emotions wheel, you may have noticed that frustration falls under the anger mad emotion, and I will include a link to the emotion wheel in this episode's show notes so you can have a look for yourself. So just a side note, the emotions wheel is a helpful tool to help identify and put language around various emotions that we might be feeling, so we're able to acknowledge them and or communicate them. So back to frustration. Frustration can show up in a few different ways, such as upset, irritability, stress, and annoyance. Some common stresses that lead to frustration are work stress, pursuing an unattainable goal, or the inability to solve a problem. Some symptoms of frustration can be feeling sad or anxious, throwing in the towel and giving up, self-medicating, sleep issues, losing one's temper, sighing, and tapping fingers. Frustration can also lead to negative self-talk that includes a negative spiral of thinking, leading to more aggressive behavior. Frustration also carries with it an acknowledgement that we can feel like we have little or no power to change the situation we face. It can leave us feeling hopeless, even with our best efforts, and feeling stuck. So how can we deal with frustration? We can start with understanding the root of the problem. If these feelings won't go away on their own, we need to figure out what's the cause of them. This can be done by talking to someone we trust about our feelings, as talking out loud can help us sort through what we're feeling rather than keeping it inside. Journaling can also aid in gaining self-awareness and perspective. So determining what we can change and what we can't enables us to adjust our expectations. Sometimes we can come up with a solution, And other times, accepting the situation can relieve feelings of frustration when we understand that we don't have control over everything that happens. We can also find other ways to accomplish our goals or plans. And this can be done through learning and equipping ourselves with new strategies. So with this in mind, I am giving away 3 of my Creating Change lessons. The Creating Change lesson is a collection of topics to assist you to understand change and how to facilitate it, set well-being goals, and ways to prioritize tasks, and how to come up with a plan of your own. Included with the lesson is a workbook to guide self-reflections, resources, and you will gain immediate access. To put your name down, head over to my website, which is carmendebono.com.au, or you can click on this episode's show notes. And to do this before Tuesday, the 22nd of August, 11 p.m. AEST. And you will be notified on Wednesday, the 23rd of August via email if you have been allocated one of the enrollments. So that's it for today's episode. And as always, I'm grateful for the opportunity to come alongside you. If you know someone who might benefit from hearing this episode, feel free to share it with them. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. For more content or to learn about the counselling services I provide, you can head over to carmendebono.com.au, and I look forward to coming alongside you again on the first Wednesday of the month. You take good care.